The man who helps the greatest number of others succeed, himself or herself, is the greatest success. The man who helps the greatest number of others succeed is, himself or herself, the greatest success, by Andrew Carnegie. So within the month of January, I've been specifically talking about kicking off the year. So why did I pick this? Because what I find is with practitioners, they get all this education, they still don't know how to apply it. And what everyone's being failed upon to understand is literally when we talk about hardware, software asset management, configuration management, you can even throw FinOps into it if you want to. That's great. Actually, it should to a degree, and I won't get into that debate here. But my point here is you think about who we serve. Yes, I said serve. Because we have roles, and our roles is to be able to help serve others. And with that, we have a tremendous amount of stakeholders. I mean, I recently had something cross my path and I was on a webinar and they were saying, who are the 3 stakeholders for asset management? Software asset management, configuration management, but it was really around asset management. And I died laughing because when you think about who you serve, there's more than 3. I get 3 just walking down the street. My point is, you think about who you're serving, how you're doing it. Your goal is to help make them successful. That's what we do. That's how we look at things. And I will say that's one of the major constraints we have in today's world is we think, oh, it's all about us. We point all the fingers right here. Well, in reality, it's not. So if you start pointing yourself like this, how many fingers are pointing the other direction? Yes, exactly. All of them, except for the pointing fingers. And those are who we actually support. Because when you look at it, you have to think about, as you're starting your year, what is your true vision of what you're looking at? How are we looking at this bigger picture? What are we going to take on this year? We've been talking about schedules. We've been talking about who we speak with, who we're aligned with, et cetera. But how are we kicking ourselves out in our own mind to making sure we're serving others? And for those that don't know me, just realize my name is Bill, Mr. Bill, and I am a recovering IT practitioner. Hardware, software asset management, configuration management. Trust me, I've been around it and now done it for over 30 years, specifically around a consultant for over 20 years, helping over 4,000 clients and practitioners around the globe, consultants, end users, et cetera. And the whole idea is to help make each other successful. So why did I pick this on a Motivation Monday? Because as we motivate ourselves, we have to figure out why we motivate or what we do. For example, my why is I love to bring people together to collectively discuss our next steps. I do. I thrive at it, and I've been doing it for years, youth, adults, et cetera. But why did I pick this? It's because with the vision, what we have in the year, it's critical that we get it right. See, there's another quote. It's called men of vision recognize sound ideas as being amongst the safest and the most valuable of all assets. Why did I pick that? I'm going to read it again. Men of vision recognize sound ideas as being amongst the safest and most valuable assets. I brought that up because as we talk about how we're working through this year, we're selling. Ooh, yeah, I went there. In our roles, we have to. That's how we get buy-in. That's what I'm talking about, managers, stakeholders, peers. How do we get them to help us? Because if we're doing it by ourselves, we're automatically going to fail. And it's not that we intend to fail, but we're going to struggle in ways where we have to have other support. If we're doing it by ourselves and put ourselves in a box, we will fail. And I want to turn that failure into an opportunity. Because if we're struggling in that area, it means we need to have others support us. That means we need to talk about to managers, sit down and say, okay, here's how I can excel. One of those steps, budget or no budget, there's only so much you can do. And everyone says, oh, we have budget constraints. Trust me, there's never budget constraints. Well, there are. But my point behind budget constraints is if there's a real need to fix a problem, they will find budget. That's the hidden secret. That's the secret of sauce. They will find budget if it is painful enough for them to take action. And your goal when you talk to management, peers, et cetera, is to understand and help communicate, aka sell them why they need to help you. Because when you think about that vision, you think about how you're helping others. At that point, you are helping others. You think about that alignment in place. So why, again, on Motivation Monday, we're getting the end of January. Why this topic? Is because as I've talked to practitioners, and I continue to, they're all stuck in their head. In your head, you're dead. That's a motto I've heard recently, and it's absolutely true. We have to think about how we're thinking outside of ourselves. For example, how I'm helping communicate this message to you so it's more effective, so I can help you go that next step. Because what I've found as practitioners, literally within IT, we're so used to working with our own constraints, we don't want to go anywhere. We don't want to play with ball with others. Well, in these roles, we have to. And trust me, if you're an introvert, and trust me, I used to be myself, you're going to quickly learn to be a little bit more open, or you're going to have to find a new role. I'm just putting it out there. My point behind that is you have to look at what you're doing and how you're doing it, and who you communicate with is extremely critical. See, we all talk about stakeholders and how we're working with others, how we speak with management, et cetera, but do we take it seriously? Do we take it serious enough? And I would say the answer is no. We only look at our own view. We don't look at others. And when we start looking at others and how we serve others, we help them move forward, then we're successful. So I'll give you a story. Sometimes Alexa chime in too. I don't know if you heard that or not, but yeah, she likes her 2 cents. But my point behind that is being able to help others succeed in the story is critical. Again, the story I'll give is there was one time I was working with an organization and literally they were stuck. They had all the answers. I was brought in for an escalation, all the answers, brought myself in with the product manager and they had all the answers. He and I took a beating for several hours. But what we found out, I won't say there weren't issues. There were, and we talked through those. But what we also found out was the constraints they put themselves under that they were blaming on the product was not the product's issue. The product did as it was designed, and we were very clear on the constraints. What they were struggling with was where they were stretching that product and how its functionality did not meet their expectations. Now, I will not say there are not challenging customers for all of us. There are, and that's our goal is to be able to talk through that. But it's also about making sure your vision is aligned with the capabilities that's possible. And that's our job, and making sure we're aligned. We're the overseers. We help make that happen, right? So whether you're an analyst, you could be looking at the analytics. Still, you're providing data to say, okay, are you on track? Are you not? As an asset manager, you're looking at the analytics, you're looking at the stakeholders, you're looking at the feedback, you're looking at the direction. You have a lot of responsibility that you shouldn't be shortchanged. So as we think about the Motivation Monday, because I just threw a ton at you in a very short period of time, but my point is, as you work through this, think about where you can be successful. Think about how you can strive to go that next step. And think about those quick wins will help you get you there. That's what I'm bringing to this Motivational Monday. Again, how can you help others? Think about how you can stair step that, have those quick wins, make sure you're aligned with your stakeholders as well, but help you as well as them be successful. Because at the end of the day, when you help make them successful, you become successful. Absolutely. And when you become successful, that means you get some more kudos, recognition. That's awesome. But also most importantly, when you're successful, you go home at night. Some of the stressors that you may have on your plate today probably come off the shoulder. You just wipe them off because they're no longer there. You learn how to communicate. You learn how to be an effective communicator. You learn how to achieve that goal. if there's something I can do, please reach out. Mr. Bill here. If you want to be a part of the community, please join. We have lots of different criterion, and take a look. I have some additional webinars coming up very soon. You're going to see some announcements in a quick, very shortly. But I wanted to make sure I at least put this Monday motivation out for you to be able to go that next step. Because at the end of the day, when you're successful, again, everyone else is. Think about how you can make that happen. Think about what will help you go that next step and how you can achieve what you need to, your goals within the upcoming year. Thank you. Have a great one. I'll talk to you then.